everybody, Level M Diecast. It is Friday edition here on the channel of Level M. And of course, we're talking about Matchbox 2025 Real Working Rigs Mix number 3. There are 3 mixes so far this year. They are really pumping the mixes out. I feel like we are ahead of schedule from where we normally are. E-case is the case code on this one. Don't pay attention to that. It is still the case assortment 3. It's the 3rd assortment of the year. It is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and crack this open. Of course, I got this from JCar, as I typically do when they are available. These are newer cases that are only 6 per. That's just the way that the Real Working Rigs come now. It should be at least 4 models in this box, as per usual. And there's probably going to be 1 or 2 duplicates somewhere on the lines of that. So that is how they're stacked in there. So first one up in the mix, number 3, of course, is a re-release right here. Our International Durastar 4400. This one has been released 3 times before. Yes, 3 times. So now we get number 4. Number 4. So number 4 on that one. We got 2 of those in this particular mix. So there's a second one right here. If it wasn't for the new card art, it would look like old stock sitting on the pegs. Just saying. Next one up right here. This is your crop sprayer, your MBX crop sprayer. This one is also a re-release, so don't get too excited about that one. That one is a re-release. 2 of the crop sprayers in here. The cards are very jacked up in my case. Look at that. Cards are just absolutely destroyed. 2 of the crop sprayers, so we'll set that guy to the side. And then the next one up here, another re-release. This is your Freightliner M2106. This is a release of the original deco for this particular casting way back in the day. That is its first original deco. This one has also been re-released once before in top of its original one. And then the last one in the mix, very, very disappointing mix already. Western Star 49X. This one has also been re-released at least once. It still carries the original deco. This is the original deco, and this is a new casting. So this is the second re-release of this particular one. So let's get the box out of here. We'll put one on here. We'll take the additional ones off from our case. So we'll kind of throw this up here. We'll kind of go through however we want to do it. Now, we're going to kick it off with that Vac Truck, but this is the very first release right here. This is the E30. You see the date code right there, E30. This was the very first release of the Vac Truck. And then we got a re-release of it right here. This one is dated P11. This one has some pretty significant changes as far as the print sizes and stuff on the side of it. So the one on the top is the OG release. The one down here is our first re-release. And of course, the oranges were a completely different color. And then of course, just deco size was different. There was an okay amount of changes to this one. I think this one was okay. Even the blue plastics were quite different between the 2 of them. So that is okay. So we'll put our OG on the outside, our new-ish one there. And then we'll go ahead and start with 2025. So this is 11 of 16 for the year, 11 of 16. Nothing particularly fancy on the back, just pretty straightforward. This is, of course, the newer card art that debuted this year. So this is our current age Vac Truck. So this one is going to have a date code of U06A. So they aren't dating the mainline stuff, but it looks like they're still going to do the Real Working Rig line. It does have a hose on the top here, which does move side to side, left to right. So you can scoop up and do whatever you want to do. The vac tank in the back has an opening section here, and then it dumps as well. So those are the moving features of this particular model to make it, of course, a real working rig. We'll go ahead and take a deco comparison. Sorry about that, of the one right before this. So they have gone back to the same size deco. So this one on the bottom is our new one. You can see they went back to the same size deco as the previous one. Not the OG, but the previous one. So it looks okay. Let's see here. Let's make sure we're comparing to the right ones. Just double checking. So previous one, this is the current one here on the bottom. Decos are the same. Details are the same. Colors are pretty close. This one right here, which is the previous release, it is a much, much brighter orange for the accessories, but it's still pretty much right on. Deco details on the front, the colors and stuff like that, same details between the 2. The castings are exactly the same. There's no changes. to the base details either. They're still made in Thailand, although the Thailand font is a little bit smaller on the previous one rather than this current one. So again, you're really going to have to really stretch it out like I do in order to kind of justify some of these models, because it's getting a little bit ridiculous with the Working Rigs line. All right, next one up is, of course, our Western Star 49X. This is your OG. This is dated R22. This was a brand new casting at that time, which was actually pretty nice. It was actually a new casting for the Real Working Rig line. Unfortunately, it's just a dump truck. There's really nothing fancy with it. It's just a dump truck. The deco looks good on it. The third axle, of course, is fake. Doesn't move, doesn't do anything. It's just fixed. At least it's okay detail that's there. But the casting looks pretty good. And, of course, we did get some chrome and stuff on there. They re-released it the very next year after that, S14. It is exactly a spitting image. There's 0 changes to this. No tampo differences, no shade differences, no nothing. They probably just built them all together, which is just a little bit absurd. So we'll put those two down there. We'll put our previous one there and our most current one right there. This one is number 16 of 16. So right on to the top. This is, of course, a re-release, our first secondary re-release that we've come across, because we've already seen one. There is the model right here. It does look very familiar, obviously, because we just looked at 2 of them. So taking a look at the decals right here, of course, the previous release there on the top, exactly the same. Details are exactly the same. The print on the side is the same. This is Dan's hauler. Western Star, all that good stuff like that. Print on the front and headlights, exact same print. Grill is in chrome. Exactly the same. Details on the side. Same wheels, same chrome print, same everything like that. Details on the back are exactly the same. Nothing between the difference. Even the oranges are the same shade, which is very, very disappointing. Of course, the base details right here, it's just not old enough. There's not going to be anything different about the base unless, of course, they move it out of Thailand into somewhere else. So that one is a strike 2 for this particular mix. We've already had 2 strikes on this particular mix, which is very interesting. All right, International Durastar 4400 flatbed. This is your OG release right here. This one is dated B08. So yes, this was from the original OG Real Working Rigs debut line. As a matter of fact, I think it came out the very first year of Real Working Rigs back in the day. This one is pretty nice. It's got some print on the top there for a light bar, chrome grill, chrome tanks and stuff like that on the side, chrome toolboxes. It's got a section right here for an additional tow. You can tow 2 models with it. And of course, it is a rollback, so it does exactly what a rollback does. It rolls back. It fits pretty much any main line on there for the most part, unless you want to put like a giant truck on there, like the D200 or something. That Dodge pickup doesn't quite fit on there. So nothing particularly fancy with the base. This is the first time we had a re-release on this one, M32. It lost the print on the rollback because, of course, they're trying to cut costs. As far as the print on the side, the prints were exactly the same. The font size was, again, a little bit bigger on this one, but they are the same. And then, of course, this one is a little bit more pearl white. This one's a little bit more kind of a yellowish tint to the white. So we'll put that there. And then we got another re-release for that one, T06. T06, so this was last year, I think. And this particular one right here, again, they went back to the smaller print on the door. Not sure if that's intentional, but that's what they did. Other than that, all the details are exactly the same. There's even some taillight details on this one as well. So T06. So we'll get those 2 previous ones right there. And then we'll go ahead and get on to the current one right here, which is number 3 of 16 for the year. You know, there's a couple of these decos of this model that they have yet to re-release, that they could re-release, but yet for some reason they decided to do this one a 4th time. It just shows you how unbelievably lazy the Matchbox team is. So T06, the previous one right there on the top, our current one on the bottom. I mean, we're struggling here. We're struggling here with Real Working Rigs trying to find differences. I mean, Matchbox is getting very, very good at just making the exact same thing over and over and over every year without changing anything. And it's a disappointment. It's certainly a disappointment. There's no differences to the base. They are exactly the same between the two. All the functionality is the same as well. Prints on the front are the same. You know, you get a little bit of quality of prints, but that's pretty much it. These ones are a little bit disappointing because just how well they go together and how well they are not different. They are not different at all, which is very, very disappointing. Now, if you guys are typical real working rigs collectors, which I think most of the people watching this video are going to do that, for years now, we have gotten one new deco per case. We've gotten one single new deco per case. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen this time. A lot of people might think that that is a new deco, but that is in fact not a new deco. That in fact is a re-release. However, it is the first time that's being re-released. This is the crop sprayer that it's being re-released for. There is some decos on the side for the chrome tank. Some details in the casting right here. It's got some gray on the top for some print. This particular one right here is dated F09. So this one quite a bit older. Actually, this was almost towards the end of the original run of Real Working Rigs, F09. But this one has the crop sprayer section in the back. The sprayers fold out, and it's very, very wide. It's almost a foot wide. And then, of course, it's got a little section right here, so you can lower it down just a little bit and get a little straightened out. And then you can drive it and do your crop spraying. You bring it back up, and you fold these in. There's little notches right here on the side of the casting. It is designed to hold those right there to keep them from falling out. But the plastic tolerance right here actually doesn't allow those to sit flush. Only the first couple of releases did that, and then after that they never sat flush, which was very, very frustrating. The cab is a red tinted cab, which is very, very interesting. And then, of course, Real Working Rig number 27 on the side, because, of course, it is Real Working Rig number 27. That is its man number. All right, 4 of 16 MBX crop sprayer. Yes, all 4 models in this case are reissued. There are 0 new decos in this case. Literally the worst thing that could have happened to Real Working Rig line, in my opinion. I knew this was coming. But I was just trying to be naive a little bit about it. So these are the sections right here. They just come as separate pieces. So you just snap them on. This one goes on this side. You can see there's a little bit smaller and then lower. Sorry about that. So smaller and bigger to make sure that you put them on the correct size. So that looks pretty good. The oranges between the two. The new one is definitely a little bit darker. Not dramatically darker, but the new one is definitely darker. So I just want to showcase that real quick. And then there is the casting itself. Pretty straightforward. I don't think there'll be anything different on this one. This will be a little bit interesting to compare just because it's very, very big. All right, original one there on the top. They do have the same shade of blue. They both have the same red tinted cab. The gray engine and the chrome tank as well. The same deco on the tank. I know it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of a squirgly line with some print. You will notice that on the bottom, this is the new one right here on the bottom. The orange striping on the side is very, very dark. The original one is more yellow. You can see the striping is dramatically different between the two. That's probably all we're going to get out of it. The print for the outline of the cab is different as well. So I know it's really difficult to show this to you. I do apologize, but the outline print for the cab is also different. This is your new one on the bottom. The original one also was more clear. This one's a little bit cloudy for the plastic color, but it's still pretty much the same. It's different enough. If you guys watch me do these Real Working Rig hauls, I'm just looking for something different enough. Obviously, I'd love a new deco, but I'm just looking for something different enough. Let's see if this one will fold down. So you just can't get the plastic to cooperate with you to stay down there. But that's what it would look like if it would just stay there. It would look very, very good. It's a pretty good model for being a generic. As far as the base details go, we'll take a look at that real quick. There is our base details. So 2011 Mattel, made in Thailand. The Thailand print is a little bit different font size. Again, crop sprayer is now in bold capital instead of the original one, which was in lowercase. And then all the other details are the same, a little bit different for the Real Working Rig 27, which is on the rear axle as well. But other than that, it is the exact same on the base and all the details. So we will throw those two right there. Not really a big deal to see stuff on the screen or not. This is a dismal case. It's a dismal case. 0 new releases, all re-released decos, and other than the crop sprayer, several released decos. So drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about that. And let me know what you think about that unboxing. And sorry about my negativity towards this. This is my favorite line. I take real working rigs very, very passionately. It's one of the reasons why I like to do these videos. And I'm really, really disappointed. We can't even get one new deco anymore. Not even one. Matchbox team, shame on you.